Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Watch or Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me, as usual, is the wonderful and hilarious Mr. Ronnie Karam and his dog Bueller. What's going on?
Well, hello. You see him back
Yeah.
there? Oh yeah, you're sitting up. Well, hello,
Yeah,
President.
Bueller's getting into position.
What's going on with you?
Not much. Just getting ready to recap some Orange County with you. Also, I just guested on Morally Corrupt with Rachel Lindsay, and that show is going to be dropping later today. So after you're done listening to this episode, go listen to Rachel's episode. She was so fun, so cool. And again, I just love when someone really knows their housewives. So Rachel and Callie were wonderful. Thanks for having me. Go check them out and subscribe to their podcast too.
Do it.
Yes. What's going on with you, Ronnie? Are you excited? What did you think about Orange County last night?
Loved it. I'm getting a smart toilet installed upstairs, so really all I can think about is getting my butt warmed, even though it's like 100 degrees outside. But I still just want to sit on a warm seat and see if it makes a difference. Like, is it going to change my life?
It'll be
Am
nice.
I going to think differently? Am I going to be smarter?
You will be. You will. Smart toilets make smart people.
Smart buttholes make smart men.
Are you going to get a smart mirror too?
Well, they call them smart mirrors. I don't know why, really. I mean, they're just lit differently. They're like
And
LED lit around, and then they defog. But I mean, does that really make it smart? That's kind of like a dumb smart mirror. There's TVs behind some of them, but what am I going to watch? I'm already so mad that they've raised all their prices on everything. I turned to Amazon and they had a damn commercial on there. I almost freaked out. Has that happened to you yet?
To Amazon.com?
No, to Prime, on Prime.
Oh.
I was watching something on Prime and a commercial came on.
Yeah,
and I Googled what? Here's exactly my Google term. Why the fuck is there a commercial on my damn not Unbreakable? What's the superhero show? The Boys.
Boys.
Is there a goddamn commercial on The Boys? And it was like, you need to pay an extra $3 a month. I was like, I work for you.
I know.
I'm an employee here.
It is total bullshit.
So anyway, my point is my butthole needs to be warmed. You see, that's what the world is doing to me. All I want is a warm butthole. I don't even want a TV behind my thing because it's going to cost me more money. But yes, I have a smart mirror. I want to look hotter, and I want a warm butthole.
Everyone deserves a warm butthole. I think that's our right as humans.
No, they don't. Not everybody does deserve a warm butthole. That's why it's especially amazing when you get one. Listen, don't take away my meritocracy butthole. I got a warm butthole.
If everyone's butthole is warm, if everyone's butthole is warm, then no one's butthole is warm.
Exactly. Warmth to everyone's butthole is warmth to no one's butthole.
Yeah, and then it'll be cool to have a cold butt. Anyway, speaking of warm and cold, let's get on to this episode.
Speaking of buttholes, let's talk about this Gina episode.
This episode, I hope you're proud of me because I controlled myself. I wanted to text you right away. I was I did.
You want a fucking medal? Okay, you can come warm your butthole over here.
What did I say? I thought
you said hoarse voiced Shannon is my new favorite Shannon, and I said LOL, I haven't watched yet, and you said I'm only 10 minutes in and it's hilarious.
Okay, I take it all back. I did not control myself. The first time
you're like me saying I controlled myself from pooping in that heated toilet immediately. There's probably a log up there. Let's face it.
So I was like the first 10 minutes of the show, I was just cracking up because there's so much shit going on between all these women that the first 10 minutes was just them all rehashing it, and I just was cracking up at all the ridiculous feuding that's going on with this cast.
Yeah. This show's pretty funny. Yeah,
it's great.
It's pretty infuriating too,
Oh,
but it's pretty funny. You concentrate on the lighthearted stuff and I'll get ready to publicly assassinate Tamra and not really. What if someone did?
Gina.
Is it an assassination if they're not? No, Gina didn't even make me mad today because Gina was the victim. And you see, I'm very easily swayed. You know how I am with the housewives know how to get me because they will take the worst person and then they'll like kind of attack them, and they'll be like, don't everybody attack one person. Save Blake Lively. Just kidding. Okay. But you know what I mean.
I loved Gina getting her due this week. It was really very satisfying to me. And I loved Shannon. And by the way, to the point, I loved Shannon without her voice because she's extra Shannon-y when she has a hoarse voice. She's like, I'm doing okay. I don't have a voice, but then again, me being voiceless is nothing new after my relationships with Johnny J. Oh God, I just called him Johnny J. John Jansen. And Dave.
I saw her on an interview, I think Entertainment Tonight, and he's like, so Shannon, I'm going to read you a quote from John Jansen from when John Jansen and it's like hard news, you know how he's talking. When John Jansen and Alexis Bellino went on the Carlos King podcast to talk about you. First, can I just play a clip of Carlos King? I am the king of all of reality TV. Fucking Carlos.
Did they really go on to Carlos's podcasts?
Yes, they did. And they
Johnny
were
Jansen,
monsters.
who doesn't want to
they
be
were
his team.
fucking monsters. Okay, so and also we love Carlos here. Obviously,
we love Carlos
because I listened to his podcast and every single one. I listened to him interview Teresa, and he's like, not only is Teresa the queen of reality TV, I am the king. We are royalty. I love that guy. But you know what? I just want, can you please just bottle that shit so I can buy some of it, because I need that self-confidence. Trying to get it from a butthole warmer. We'll see how that works out. Check in later. Okay, so they went on this podcast, and so the guy from Entertainment is reading the quote like it's hard news, by the way, with kind of a smile on his face. And he's like, here's the quote. Being with Shannon Bedore was like losing every single day of my life. Like constant loss. Shannon, and it went on, by the way, this quote was really long. So Shannon, how do you feel? And she's like, well, I find it amusing. I try to find humor in things like that because I know the truth, and I will stay with the truth. I was like, who drugged Shannon Bedore, and how did they get her to be like this? Because the Shannon I know would be like, well, I'll tell you, I find it hilarious. And another thing I find hilarious is that you were with the ultimate winner. Man, who else can mail you a salmon within 2 business days? I'll tell you, not Alexis Bellino. That's you. But now she's all docile and like, well, it's okay. Let that poor man think whatever he'd like.
No, I'm fully unbothered. I am someone who does infomercials now, and I put cream cheese in salmon, and I've learned that when life gets tough, just reach for that Philadelphia and put it right in that salmon. It's great. It's all the fun of a Philadelphia roll without all the carbs. So, I am doing great. I'm happy, and I'm happy for him, and for that lovely lady by his side. I'm sure they'll be a forever couple. So,
Alexis Smellino, you smell. Alexis Bellino Smellzino.
There, I said it. There, I said it. She's a Smellino. Bellino. She doesn't even know how to spell a proper cocktail, which I have not had in quite some time. I only have 2 per day, max maybe 6.
Oh, well, I would just like to say I do that because I do not have a problem. So.
Yeah, she's like handling all this very well. So I don't know if she went to, I don't know, political class, what do you call that? Where they send politicians. Media training. I don't know if she did that or what. Like she pulled a Stassi and went to some media training. I don't know what happened, but it's weird.
It is weird. Well, I think that she just saves her craziness for the actual TV show. And if she's on like a press tour, she's like, no, I am Shannon Bedore. I am daughter of Gene the Machine, and I am proper. I have a daughter in Paris. I have another daughter in New York learning liberal things. And I have another daughter in Texas who is living life the way she should be, which is getting married at -5 years old. Okay, great.
This is Shannon Bedore. I'm off the clock, so I will not lose my temper, but you can leave a message on Gene the Machine.
I'm listening. Gene. Wanted to see if Shannon wanted to comment on John Jansen. Not really. I'll tell you this much. Walking is good for your knees.
I'm particularly calm right now because I have been taking my father's advice. I've been walking. It's been good for my knees. I also recently did some cupping which I had thought was where you balance several cups on your head and see how far you can walk across the room without them shattering. And unfortunately, I took one step and they all broke, much like all my relationships. And then I went to Dr. Moon's office, and turns out it's a totally different thing. So you know what? I'm learning things every single day, and I'm calm. I'm very calm. I'm calm and happy.
All right, let's get into this episode, shall we?
Let's do it. So it starts with Heather Dubrow getting out of her car at a place called Where's the Party? Which really, I'm so glad she finally found a store that represents her personality. I'm Heather Dubrow. Where is the party? Lady of the people.
I was going to say she found a place to represent that is actually a line that everybody says when they come into one of her parties. So, this is a nice living room. Where's the party?
Just follow the trail of Nobu rice to the kitchen.
Nobu rice, broken dreams, and LED lights to a big box leading. What is the big the dream box? What was it? The question box. Sorry, someone turned water on right above my head. Do you hear it? What's this fucking Niagara Falls in here?
Maybe it's the smart toilet. Smart toilet's like, I am a smart toilet, and I stand for Heather Dubrow.
Listen to that. I don't think it's going very well over there. It's just hindering a guess. I'm not going to go up there and check, but it doesn't sound like it's going well. I plan to be flooded any moment.
Where's the party?
It's raining on my head. That would totally be a Shannon Bedore recap of an episode if it just started, toilet water just started raining down on my head.
Well, I'll never forget my first dance with David at our wedding when we slow danced to Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started in here.
So Emily's like, well,
she said a Black Eyed Peas. She was like, well, then we transitioned to Let's Get Started, which apparently meant his adultery because he went away for 10 minutes.
I put myself in David and Shannon Bedore's wedding. I mean, what else would they have played?
They would have had, well, they probably did have a lot of like, because tonight it's going to be a good night. That song go again.
What's new, pussycat?
Whoa. That is supposed to be saved for the bridal shower. Sorry, everybody. Tom Jones, what a sexy beast.
So even though we are full-fledged Christians, we did have a hora at our wedding. More like a whore, my bridesmaid. But it was a great time. It was a great time. I was dizzy. I was as dizzy as if I had been in a giant circle dance.
Funny, because we had the horror at our wedding, and then David ran away with one that he saw on the beach. So.
You know, it's so interesting how many things David took from our wedding. For instance, when we did the limbo, that was something that really did sort of stay through our entire marriage. Like, do you love me? I can't tell. I feel like I'm in limbo right now.
God, David, I should have known David was going to leave me, because when I saw him do that limbo, I thought, wow, just when you thought he couldn't go lower. There he goes. There he goes.
Yeah. The electric slide, that dance really characterized our relationship, as in there used to be a lot of electricity between us, and then suddenly that spark just slid away.
Child support payments just sliding down. Okay, so Heather puts a tiara on Emily's head, and she's like, I don't want to ruin your hair, if that's what we're calling it today, whatever the pile of straw is on your hair. On your head. And Emily's like, it's pretty much ruined. It's the same hair and makeup from last night.
Well, whatever you said, I don't care, because I, America, am going to assemble an Easter basket. Even though I am Jewish and have a Jewish family, but we will be having Easter because it's relatable to humans. So look, Easter decorations, and a grill. Ooh, how fascinating.
Fun fact, the Easter Bunny was Jewish. So are hard-boiled eggs. Fight me over it.
Where are all my peeps at? Get it?
Let's get it started in here. Hurrah!
So Emily's like, there probably has a beauty skincare routine of like 800 steps. Oh! And then it cuts to wacky Heather talking about her face. Her facing, which is like, well, then I put on a skin cream, then I put on a neck cream, then I put on an eye cream. You don't do any of that shit. I want to see the minimum wage workers brought in to rub stem cells.
Each one has a
All
specific
over you.
use. There's the one who rubs the stem cells. There's the one that wipes it off. It's just like a parade of workers that come in a very choreographed manner to take care of all this. Just hands all over her face.
Whoever gets my under eye bags solved today gets health care for a week.
By the way, our note taker today, Shelby, she summarized the way this scene began in a way that I would consider Orange County haiku. This is what she says: mini grill, Emily enters, pleasantries. I was like, that sums up how this scene truly
It's
began.
kind
I
of.
love
It's not the proper syllables, but it is
No.
353, right? Mini grill, Emily enters, pleasantries. So it's kind of a different kind of haiku.
It's an
I
Orange
like
County
it.
haiku, which is like
The
a.
numbers are off, but they still work with the 353. Like as far as the
It's a good
same number, different
approximation.
number, same number.
They take something classic and artistic and turn it into their own lesser version of it. Yeah.
Mini grill, Emily enters, pleasantries. I just watched Shogun, so this really speaks to me. A lot of smart toilets on that show. So Heather probably has 8,000 steps in her thing. So it cuts to Heather talking about her stuff, and then Emily's like, "Oh, well, I'm falling asleep in full glam. We're not the same. We're not the same."
She's also 45 times more wealthy than you are. So yes, you're not the same. She drives like a Mercedes or Bentley, or is driven in it, and you have a pickup truck. So yeah, not the same. I agree.
She keeps employees chained up in the basement. You wear plastic wooden chain on like a skytop dress right now, or whatever. Did you notice the chain today? After I pointed it out last week, or did you still not notice it?
Wait,
how her
chain on?
She's wearing that bright orange dress, and it's like a crop top dress or something, like some crop top rayon, and then it's got the top of it is being held to the bottom of it with a chain link that's made out of plastic marbled. It looks like marbled wood, but it's plastic. It is so.
I missed it again.
Hideous. I mean, on a show that really prides itself.
Oh wait, no, yes, I saw that. I saw that.
It's just really bad.
Anyway, Heather is like, well, so that was a lot last night. All hell broke loose. And Emma's like, yeah, I know I wasn't nice. Yeah, what was going on with you and Jen? Like, what was that with the Rolex and things and the money? Is that what was that all about? Yeah, I don't know. Well, first of all, it's not about the money, okay? Well, it sounded like it's about the money. No. It's not about the money. It's about integrity. Roll the clip from last night that America hasn't seen yet.
How did they not show this at that episode? My God, this was quite a clip. So they roll the clip, and the clip is sorry, I was fast forwarding. So Jen's like, so Emily, you wanted to end on a positive note or something? Go ahead. Why don't you end this on a positive note? She goes, yeah, Jen needs to pay her bills. That's a positive note. How is that not about money? You're so fucking rude. I can't believe this. Go ask Perry's for some more money for your terrible fucking orange rayon with the marbled chain, man.
Yeah, there was this. I'm shocked. How did they not show this? And there was actually so much stuff that seemed to happen at this dinner that they really sort of cut out and put into flashbacks. And we're like 1 minute into the episode, and all of a sudden we were seeing a flashback of Emily being like, pay your bills. I was like, whoa. And Gina's like, no, Emily, if you want to walk around with a Rolex on while you owe all of Orange County money, then fine. And we see like Jen has like a little Rolex that she's wearing that is obviously really bothering Emily, even though Emily is not owed any money. And even though Jen has not gone around talking about how poor she is, it's Gina is the one who has put all of Jen's financial business out on the table for everyone to dissect.
Right. Which is why it's funny later when Gina comes at Emily for being like getting off on being bitchy with Tamara. That's what you've been doing for years. You're just mad that somebody else is doing it with her now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So she yells at her about wearing the Rolex while she owes all this money. And Jen's just, and by the way, Emily's mad that this lady's used to living off her husband. So you're just shaming her for not finding a husband with richer in-laws or what? Because that's who you're living off of, through your own words. So annoying. So she's yelling at her, and Jen can just honestly take it like a champ. She's just like, oh, well, it was a gift. It was a gift. But thank you so much for pointing out my Rolex. Isn't it pretty? Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Rolex.
I appreciate that. You know what? Thank you for toasting to me at this dinner. That really meant so much to me. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for highlighting my accessory choices
Wow.
tonight. I put a lot of thought
Thank
into it.
you. Yeah, I was
Thank you.
feeling bad, but I really feel like part of this group now. Thank you so much, Emily.
And Emily's like, "You're so fucking stupid. Go fucking sell it and pay back some of your bills." It's like, lady, we'll just give it some time before you are pork too. Okay, we know the cycle of these shows. Okay, we've all seen the saga of Lynn Curtin. It's only a matter of time before Emily is gonna be selling some items from her, selling those boudoir photos to raise money for mac and cheese.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Emily, that's their couple name. Emily, Heather and Emily in the store. And Heather's like, "You went really, really hard on her. It's almost like she misused the moisturizer in between your eyes." Sorry, are we still talking about facials? I love face products.
I mean, if you owe a bunch of people money, why are you rolling around with a Rolex? Either hide it or sell it. It tells me that you're stupid. I'm like, you're best friends with Gina. Okay.
No kidding. It also tells me you're a Real Housewives cast member. Since when do we get to judge people for faking it on a Real Housewives show?
I know. So then we cut over to a beach and Jen is sitting down with Tamara. I'm still so confused why Jen is even friends with Tamara after the viciousness that Tamara put Jen through. And so Jen sits down and joins her on the beach. And she's like, "Oh my God, look, look, you take your, oh my God, we're going to take our shoes off on the ground. This is so good for you. It's like you're one with the earth, Tamara." Well, yes, Tamara Judge, the most one with the earth person I can think of in Orange County.
Well,
That's
you're sitting on sand and she's kind of sandpapery as a personality. So maybe, I guess we could stretch
maybe.
it.
So Jen's like, the beach is like my happy place. It's one of the reasons why I live in the OC. I feel like, this outing is exactly what I need. We need to come down a little bit. Like, yes, I know when I'm stressed, what I want to do is go sit down with Tamara Judge and see what she has to say about anything.
Yeah. So they order. And Tamara's like, "That was a lot last night, bitch." She's like, "Yeah, I just don't understand Emily saying, like, pay people back. Like, who do I owe money to? I mean, why is that even insinuating? Like, I owe a bunch of people money? Who do I owe money to? What? Who? What? Huh? Do I owe money to people? Hmm?
I took care of all my financials. There's this lovely baseball player in the Dodgers who volunteered to pay for everything, apparently. So Emily is like, we go back to the store. She like moves into a house that she can't afford. You owe this woman 20 grand, 30 grand, whatever it is. And you're rolling around in your car, not even paying your payment with a Rolex on. And we see Jen they do this amazing split screen of Jen listening to Tamara and just like her Rolex, just like front and center dangling off her hand.
Yeah.
Smart. Good editing.
Yeah. And Heather's like, "Yeah, clearly she's not good with money." Yeah, I mean, I had too many espresso martinis. I guess I probably shouldn't be screaming "pay your bills" across the table. And Jen's like, "Why? I mean, why is she taking these digs at me? Like, is it funny? Am I less than you?" Yes. I mean, you're poor. I guess that's the point.
That's a punchline in Orange County. Like, oh, you're poor,
Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily's like, also the Rolex didn't work. I asked her what time it was, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know, it's broken, it doesn't work." Like, what the fuck?
Okay, so now you're mad that she doesn't have a new working Rolex? The woman is basically a walking thrift store, and you're still shaming her. Like, she can't win with you.
It's like I know you don't have a lot of money, but at least you could have scrounged up an extra $45 for a battery.
Yeah, like pick your lane. What are you going to be mad at today? The fact that she's using her stuff that she's already got, or the fact that she's not spending money to have newer stuff? Like, fuck off.
Also, by the way, I am totally okay with broken watches and clocks because someone once told me, like, yeah, a watch may be broken, but it still looks cute. So, like, wear it. It's an accessory. It's fashion.
Yeah, I'll wear a broken watch. Listen, they say that a broken clock is right twice a day, and that's more than I'm right a day.
I have two wall clocks in this house, and they're both broken at the moment. They both broke on the same day, which was really weird. And they're both broken. And I'm just like, whatever. I'm keeping them up. I like the way they look. Do they confuse people? Yes.
I was with a friend yesterday shopping, and we were in an antique store, and I saw one of those grandfather clocks, like those standing, and I was like, that is badass, because I want to do kind of a mid-century modern thing. And I remember my Meemaw having one of those that was from that time. And I thought, I'm going to get one of those and just like paint it a really funky color, like have like a Watch What Crappens blue clock or something.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, but that clock is broken. I said, who cares? It's like one less thing making me race fucking time in LA, Like, isn't that what we all want? want is just a broken clock in LA, you know?
Yeah.
Youth forever.
Exactly. Also, the truth is, grandfather clocks look really cool, but they are really they're noisy. I mean, they're the one like
They
they're
are,
the ones that
yeah.
will make you crazy. They're the ones that are really ticking. They're the ones going,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay.
On
And
the
then it's
fucking
like,
cuckoos. Oh my God.
oh my God.
Or even if they don't have the cuckoo, they have the ding, 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 ding.
Former theme song of the Crappens Mailbag, R.I.P.
Kind of current of Dwell Hello, because that's how we
Oh
roll.
yeah, current Dwell Hello.
So we're never going to finish this recap. Why? Because we don't have to. Okay, we're going to be here. Speaking of never paying attention to the clock, we're going to be here for 5 more years.
Oh my God. So yeah, anyway, Emily was like garbage to poor Jen, literally poor Jen. So Tamara's like, so have you tried to talk to her? Because like maybe she's like going through something that we like don't know about. And Jen's like, yeah, maybe. By the way, so Gina and Shannon came over the other day. I'm just gonna drop it. She just moves on to another topic. She's like, yeah, Emily was really wretched to me and shamed me for being poor. Anyway, Gina and Shannon came over the other day.
She's just so used to it. She's like, I'm going to work to get abused, and that's just how it is. And also, I love Tamara. Like,
you know what? Maybe we should like really think like maybe she's going through something and we shouldn't hound her.
Really? Like the fucking person you're accusing of being an alcoholic
I
and
know.
bullying nonstop every episode? Okay. What a good person you are, honestly.
Exactly. So Jen's like, so Gina and Shannon came over the other day, and Gina was like talking about the closeness between the two of you. And so we see a flashback of Jen and Gina talking, and Jen saying, "Oh my God, like I feel like Tamara and like Tamara and Heather, they're like not Heather, Tamara and Emily. I feel like with Emily, it's just like change Emily. It's like her and Tamara like do this thing where they're like high five. Who could be the bigger bitch? Like I could be the bigger bitch, and like that's not my friend."
Yes, it is. She's just used to playing that game with you, and you think it's hilarious when it's you, but not when. But now that said, broken clocks and all that, Gina is correct on this. That is what Emily is doing. Emily is always so excited to be included in anything that's not just Gina's, park picnics. It's like you just like you want to come to my park picnic birthday party. I am projecting my own childhood onto her, yes, but I think Emily, whenever Emily is invited somewhere other than Chuck E. Cheese with Gina, she's going to kiss that person's ass no matter what. Just the same way that Gina, whenever she gets invited to someone more popular's house, like Heather, or richer, like Heather, she's going to go there. They're both two users who are just using each other as place cards.
Yeah, I think so. So then Tamara's like, oh, this is my fault. This is my fault that I did this. And Jen's like, no. Gina was just saying, my best friend has changed because Tamara changed her and it's all Tamara's fault. But it's not your fault, though.
You're both each other's like Lauren Ipsum on a WordPress site, I think. I was waiting for something better.
Specific. It's very specific reference, but for those who get it, they know. They get it.
So I think Jen obviously knows what she's doing, which is she is getting Tamara riled up to come for someone other than her on the next trip, which, she's learning. So good for her. So then we cut to Gina shopping, which LOL. I mean, can we have a loss prevention specialist behind her, please? And Katie comes and Katie's like, I was hungover this morning. I'm not going to lie about it.
You were? Because you seem kind of the same.
Yeah, I mean, it is my personality generally, but it hurts more today.
I do have resting hangover face. That's true. So Katie's like, I didn't want last night to be about the Heather and me thing, which is why I didn't say anything. And I'm a little wary of my friendship with Gina. She hurt me and she apologized, but she's still on Heather's side. And we see the clip of Gina being like, I have to say, I'm really like on Heather's side still.
But also, like, Katie, you're going too hard here. I'm on Heather's side, and I'm never on Heather's side. You're coming at Heather with ridiculous things. There's no side to be on. You heard some rumor. You told everybody in the group and tried to humiliate her in front of her friends on national TV when you just got here. Even I'm on Heather's side. You're ridiculous. Find a better fight, lady.
Yeah, this is a bad fight. So,
I know a good fight. Here's who they should bring on. Did you hear of Katie's legal troubles?
No.
There are a couple. This too. This one's good. She's being sued by an ex quote unquote business partner, because I don't know how business partnery this person is, but apparently he came up with an idea for golf ball shaped shots that you buy, and they're in a little golf ball and you take the shot. First of all, I think they already have those. They're called like buzzing balls or buzz balls or something. I mean, they're not technically golf balls, but we've all had a buzz ball, right?
Yes.
Anyway, and I was actually swallowing, not waiting for an answer. Anyway, and
I actually like to get a smart buzz ball. They're warmer
for my butthole.
They're like use them in a different place.
And apparently, Katie is being accused of stealing this idea of the buzz ball from this guy. And I'm guessing she got somewhat famous, or at least on TV, so he's going to sue her now. He needs to understand you don't sue until their second season, sir. They make $5 their first season.
Yeah. Also, have a better lawsuit. Like, I'd be mortified if my lawsuit was over like a golf ball shaped shot. Like, that's just embarrassing.
Yeah. If you have the confidence to market that, you have the confidence to market anything. Get off your ass and just find something else.
I came up with paper clips, but instead of clipping paper, they clip Diet Cokes. Okay.
I only need $500,000. I only need $500 million to market this. Let's do it, guys. Like that kind of confidence, you'll make money no matter what.
So anyway, yeah, so Gina's like, yeah, you know what? Like, Heather's like definitely pissed at me, and like she's being like cold and distant, which actually she's always cold and distant, but like she's not giving me any more prom dresses.
We're throwing away your wedding dress.
The other day she called me up and said, by the way, come on over. I've got lots of leftover Nobu food we didn't eat. Just kidding. I threw it over the cliff. I couldn't even believe it.
She said, you want to go to Nobu? I said, sure. So I called her at 5. I said, are we going? And she said, no, boo.
I called up that Gina and I said, let me tell you something. I do know how to eat a slice of pizza and it never slips out of my hand.
Oh, I went to Sbarro.
Did you?
Sorry, I'll concentrate. Yes, because we talk about Sbarro all the time. I actually saw it in the mall the other day, so I went to it and I got a slice. It sucked. Sbarro. What happened?
Was that Burbank, or did you go to the one on Woodman? The fashion?
Burbank.
Yeah.
I was at Burbank because I was at that Cost Plus there. And then Cost Plus tried to charge me $275 for an office chair. I can't with this world. Like, let me out.
Did you know that like this is probably old news to many, many people, but did you know that all those outlets in Prim, Nevada, you know, on the border of Prim, do you know they all closed? Because I stopped in there and I was like, time to go to the Le Creuset outlet to see if they have any good deals. And the only thing open in that entire mall is a thrift store. And it was the creepiest thing ever.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I'm talking about, by the way?
No, Prim, Nevada. What the fuck is that?
Well, the point is, until you've walked through a really, really, really vacant mall, you haven't lived. or you haven't been to Heather DeBro's house.
Right after the kids all went to college.
Feels like Prim, Nevada in here. We're moving.
I was like, wait, what part of Nevada has people with a face color different than their neck color? But then I remembered that was Priv, Nevada. And I was like, oh, that was a different part of the state. Okay, so Heather's like, I need Gina to know how fucking upset I am. How could she do that to me? I just feel so betrayed by Gina for not telling me that this lady was calling me a paparazzi caller. How could she? I was so upset.
I mean, why would she not vet the information to make sure it's accurate? Okay. For instance, when I found out that I would be co-starring with Reba McEntire on a show about a countryside in Malibu, I said, this is Reba McEntire. Are you sure this is not a movie offer from Angelina Jolie? Unfortunately, that was vetted and it was Reba McEntire. But the point is, do your job.
So Gina's answer, of course, is
Heather's just fucking sensitive, man.
Oh, says Gina.
What about my children?
I'm so glad that Heather brings that up. How Gina does that. So that's later though. Spoiler alert.
Yes.
It's coming. I'll hold off. So Gina, Emily goes, well, maybe she just has so much going on with Travis. And Heather rolls her eyes and she goes, you can't roll your eyes at that. Shut up. You're calling someone poor. You're calling like a divorced person trying to raise 5 kids, one of whom is adopted, that that their struggles aren't real enough. Surely Gina's fake struggles with her hairy babysitter can get an eye roll or two.
Yeah,
judgment.
I think Heather is fully entitled to roll her eyes about Travis because every time she hears about Travis, it's always something with Travis with Gina.
Always.
It's always like, oh my God, like Travis is upset right now. Oh my God, Travis didn't buy the ragu. Oh my God, Travis broke the bunk bed. You know, it's like, it's enough.
Yeah, and also these people are always justifying each other's stuff. Like, well, maybe they're going through something while they're attacking someone else. Because we just heard it from Tamara. Maybe Emily's going through something. And now Emily's like, well, maybe Gina's going through something. And then we cut to Gina, and Gina is like,
I have a lot going on, and like, you know how hard it is trying to get someone to put a curtain to separate a room into 2 parts. It's really hard.
I'm like trying to book a deal to get Cara Gala into the 99-cent store. It's just like really hard. So Katie's like,
by the way, I love that we haven't heard of Caragula this season. Caragula.
I know, it's been great.
Sorry, go ahead.
Strange considering it's taken over the world of fashion and
I know. So weird to see it on billboards but not hear about it on the show.
After that endorsement by Kim Kardashian, you would think there'd be all the rave on this season, but no. Yeah. So Katie's like, well, I don't like that you're in that position. And Gina's like, it's all right. Like, I'm like a big girl. I just feel bad. So then Shannon walks in. She walks in like very quietly and like sneaks up. She's like,
oh, hi, hello. How are you? Fun, Shannon. Your voice, though. I'm tired. I didn't sleep a lot last night. Hold on. Let me look to the side. Very upset. Very, very upset.
I had an allergic reaction from standing in a specific corner of the restaurant while no one came to console me. And I went into anaphylactic and also personal shock.
I'm allergic to having emotional trauma that my friends don't care about. So.
I'm allergic to being yelled at in a room behind a bookcase, and then when I leave said room behind a bookcase, no one follows me, not even the 2 women that I'm looking at right now. Oops, I'm coughing already.
I have a Blair Witch allergy, just allergic to being left staring at a corner in the dark.
So I didn't sleep a lot last night. So I got a letter from a law firm saying you owe John Jansen $75,000 plus interest and attorney fees, which is funny because I have no interest in that man whatsoever anymore.
Wait a minute. Who's that? John Jansen? No, yeah, who is that? John Jansen. No, I'm sorry. I don't recognize it. Okay. Johnny J. Oh my God. Really? Wow. So now, let me get this straight. So now Alexis Bellino is with 2 men who both sued you? Is that what I'm getting?
Yes, that. And notice that I have no voice. She's almost like Ursula in that way. She's taken it away.
I woke up this morning, I couldn't speak, and I was combing my hair with a fork.
What do you call it?
When I was standing in that corner, I found myself saying, I want to be where the people are. Where are all the people?
But not too close to where all the people are because there are germs.
Actually, take my legs. I want to go back into the water. It's ridiculous. Mermaids are really just people who couldn't take the allergies up here.
I enjoy having a tail, actually. It's just much easier having 1 part down there instead of 2.
Much easier to not have to do an elliptical machine.
Yes. Unfortunately, they have yet to develop a Peloton that can adjust a fishtail, but I'm hopeful that my demographic will be serviced soon.
Let me tell you, it may not seem fun having a tail, but mermaids don't have husbands who try and buy them Pelotons for their birthday. That's for sure.
So Triton's like, oh God, she's back. So Shannon is like, where are we? Oh,
I don't know if Alexis is behind it or not, but a Bellino last name is associated with both. I mean, that's a little suspect, isn't it?
I'd also like to point out, for what it's worth, that Bellino is the name of an anchovy, a jarred anchovy that I really enjoy. So I like that the Bellino is, for me, associated with 2 frivolous lawsuits and a fish. So it all comes together.
A crazy stalker. So Alexis is just fucking stalking Shannon. How long does this has this been going on? It's weird.
It is really weird. It's really weird.
It's creepy. So then we go back to Tamara and Jen talking at the beach. And Jen's like, well, where do you and Shannon go from here? Because you know what, Tamara? You really go hard, Tamara. You really go hard.
It's because I care. I don't go hard to people that I don't care about. I'm just a good person. That's what it is. I'm just such a good person.
It's because you're grounded to the earth right now because your feet are in sand. So Jen is like, I know she cares about Shannon, but I've been on the receiving end of Tamara, and it's hard. And honestly, the harder Tamara goes, the further it's going to push Shannon away. It pushed me away at the time. So Tamara really needs to work on that. Thank you so much.
You need to work on getting up off the floor and taking the welcome inscription off of your back. Like, you are such a fucking doormat. I can't even believe you're sitting here with Tamara. This woman has never even said sorry or anything to you. This woman has treated you terribly. What are you doing?
Why are you not kicking sand in her face? You have the perfect opportunity.
So Tamara's like, I'm so angry because I really thought this was going to be a wake-up call. I thought that Shannon was going to get the help she needed, but instead, she just keeps on making excuses.
And then Gina is at the other place. Gina's like,
I just don't want you to go backwards, Shannon. Please don't. Well, I'm certainly not going to let Tamara just have me go backwards. I will not have her go. You're going backwards, Shannon. Stop it. Why did you put that in my head?
It's not my fault they're playing Thriller. If they would stop, I would stop moonwalking, but I have an uncontrollable impulse.
So now back to the beach. Tamara's like,
you know what? She acts like such a victim all the time. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if my daughter has called me. Oh my God, I'm still erased. Anyway, she's such a victim all the time.
Cut to Shannon going,
and don't call me a victim.
Cut back to Tamara.
Ow! Sorry, I just went backwards into a hanger. You really should not have such sharp hangers here. I am hurting now. I can't believe I'm not a victim, but I have been assaulted by a hanger.
And then Tamara, who's just accused Shannon of making excuses, we go back to Tamara, who, by the way, is someone who got another castmate so drunk and then tried to have her son basically bang him in the bathroom. And then just as recently as last week was shit-faced, like helping a friend pee in the bushes and dancing on bars and spraying soda all over a bar. Just to point that out, saying
there's a big difference with somebody drinking and having fun and somebody having an alcohol problem.
Yeah, and guess what? You don't get to decide what that difference is. I hate that. I hate when people are constantly wasted to the point of falling down drunk, and then they're like, well, it's different how I do it. It's not really. I mean, you just haven't been caught yet. Am I supposed to believe that Tamara hasn't driven her ass drunk? Okay. And none of this is even to excuse Shannon, because there really isn't an excuse for that. This is just about Tamara being a hypocrite.
Tamara being a bad friend. So back to the boutique. Gina's like,
you know what, Shannon, you need a break, like a real break, okay, from the sitting around your house stuff that you do. So you know what? I have this listing for Elizabeth Vargas's house in La Quinta, and I thought it would be fun if we all go to La Quinta Thursday overnight. Oh, wow. So that's exciting. So your version of a vacation for me is to hang out with a lady who was fired from our show. Great. I'm so excited to hear about her cult again. That's going to be great. So great.
Wow, Gina, how generous. So I need a break. So I should go freeload in a house that's for sale. Great. An open house. Are we going to have to make cookies? Well, they do say that fresh cookies brings in more boys.
I can't wait to spend a night in a house that reflects both of my relationships staged.
And Gina's like,
I think that Elizabeth will be there, at least in the beginning, till the producers kick her out, because she's already been fired once, but I'm bringing her back because she's really, really rich.
Yeah. Basically, Elizabeth Vargas has given Gina this massive listing, which is wild. I can't believe Elizabeth did this. So Katie's like, oh, you know what? I can't go on Thursday because I'm going to go to Big Bear. Yeah. Yeah. So while you guys are at an $8 million house, we are going to go to a small property with a leaky ceiling. So yeah, that's my choice.
I really wanted to see what word art was like in a less evolved place than Orange County. So,
I was wondering what Ashley furniture would look like at a higher altitude.
I really just want word art in Ashley's hand font.
I was wondering, can a house be all brown furniture? I just have to see it for myself.
Because really. So Gina's like, you're going to Tamara's house? Yes, I am. Gina's like, oh, Tamara's taking people to Big Bear. That should be fun. I'm so happy for Tamara and Big Bear and the people that get to go for that. That's very, very fun. Ho, ho, ho.
Well, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere because I unfortunately at high altitudes I do get a postnasal drip, and that drive up the mountain is a little curvy for me. So I wouldn't even go anyway, even if I were invited, which I wasn't. But I was not. I was going to say I'm saying no in advance to not being invited. Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that she'll take Alexis. Now, I know I shouldn't assume because that makes an ass out of you, and Alexis is an ass. Oh, my throat now.
Oh well, I'm sure they will have fun going out on the lake with a canoe, and of course you can't paddle without a whore. So that's wordplay. Okay, Gina doesn't get it, but Katie, you get it.
Up the creek without a whore. What happened?
Right, sorry. Okay, so then we
That's one place Johnny Jansen wouldn't be. If there's no whore, there's no creek.
So then we cut back, and Jen's like, but wait,
I'm
what do
sorry.
we
I just love up the paddle, up the creek without a whore, and then what happened? Shannon be like,
I was going to continue that, and I thought, you know what? That's enough. Sometimes it's just okay to stop.
she suddenly has an existential crisis after she says it.
What has happened to me?
Sometimes talking like Shannon really does send you into a spiral.
I'm like, oh, David, up the creek without a whore. What did he?
What creek?
David, up a creek. Where is the creek?
Why
Why
is
would
he
he be
can't
there
swim?
without a whore? What happened to David? Is he on a male retreat? But where are the
Is there-
men? Are none of the
Is there
men
a
whores?
Is there a gastropub on my creek? Do they serve things in a sugar sauce?
So Jen's like, what are we going to do in Big Bear? And Tamara says,
Well, we're going to drive up there, and then we're going to go sledding, then we're going to go to dinner, then we're going to go to the village, then we're going to go shopping.
I was like, you just named everything. And by the way, that takes 5 minutes to do all of that shit.
She goes, we'll do it all.
We-
You are not
we've all
going to
been Big
Paris.
Bear, okay? Like you're gonna look at a big wooden store with big wooden store with big wooden bears, and then the store next to it, which is another big wooden store with big wooden bears, and then you're gonna get a beer at the same place that is the grocery store and the restaurant. So you're done.
And
The end.
you'll make patter with the waiter at the barbecue joint, and then that's it.
You'll see your neighbor Stassi's mom who tries to convince you it's the same thing as L.A. and then or Lake Tahoe, and then you'll be on
and
your
have
way.
fun spending 15 minutes going out of your way to put your trash into a public dumpster. So that is what it is going to Big Bear. It's fun.
Wait, what? What is that? They don't have trash cans in Big Bear?
Well, so the Airbnbs that I've stayed in, it's like, now take your trash and bring it to the public dumpster or something like that, because if you keep it in like
there's fucking bears.
with the fucking bears.
Bears.
Bears need to stop.
But seriously,
to
bears
stop.
need to cut their crap. All animals.
Bears need to stop. First of all, it's not fair that they get to be so cute, but also so deadly. That's not fair. If you're cute, you got to be nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Second of all, stop getting into all the trash.
I can't go with you on that one because I'd be kind of a hypocrite. So Tamara lists all the things to do in Big Bear, which takes too short.
I'm
of
gonna
a
do it
time.
all.
Yeah. So then they're both everybody's going on a super shitty poor person vacation. Let's face it. Some of the people are going to be like tenting out in an open house that Gina has to keep clean because people are going to be coming to look at it. The other people are going to Tamara's leaky home in Big Bear. Okay. Where's the glamour
Yes.
gone, guys? Just remember this is Orange County and we never had that glamour. So everybody get over it.
So Emily's like, so by the way, Heather, Gina asked me if I would come to La Quinta. How about you come with us? And Heather goes, hold on one second. is Richard Marx going to be performing in the basement? Not sure. Will Daisy Fuentes be getting our groceries? Not sure. Well, I'll consider it. I mean, I'd love to see it, the listing. I love looking at cottages. But here's the thing. I'm just going to be upfront right now because I don't want to hear later that it was inappropriate of me to tell her exactly how I feel because I may get heated with this. So you tell me, is this still okay to come? And I actually love this response from her. She's like, I don't want to deal with Gina's bullshit yet again. I am too wealthy to be doing this.
But I don't want to hear that this was inappropriate. Is that a deal?
I mean, don't threaten her children and her family. I mean, I don't think fighting is ever inappropriate. It's just how you do it when you're like,
If you ever,
So then,
no, but Heather's saying like, oh, like all of a sudden it's inappropriate that she's saying like, it's inappropriate that Heather's saying Gina accused her of saying that Heather was being inappropriate for calling Gina out for being a bad friend, right? Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
oh, I think she's just like, I'm gonna come fight with Gina. If I come, I'm fighting with Gina, and I don't want anyone being like, it's inappropriate to fight with Gina because this is her
that makes so
trip
much more sense.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's her event or whatever because they have those rules. Like, how could you do this at her event? Which is usually Heather who's doing that. How could you do this at my Nobu event? No one ate sushi. Don't all the storm clouds gather.
So now everyone starts packing for their trips. The funny thing is that right after this podcast is done, I'm going to travel out to Palm Springs for a super dorky board game weekend. And so I love getting to cosplay as a Real Housewife packing for a cast trip because that's what I'm going to pretend to do.
It's the same thing.
I'm just going to ask. I'm going to pretend like Dom is like the disinterested spouse saying, well, should I pack this? What do you think, Archie? What do you think? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Dom gonna come?
Hell no.
I was gonna say
he's not gonna come.
I didn't see that one coming.
A bunch of nerds playing board games in the desert? No way.
Well, we're gonna be playing games in the desert as well. Chilly or not? What is it? Is this chilly or not chilly?
I'm gonna play my favorite game, dropping truth bombs while it's a little windy out.
Okay, so then we go to people packing for the trip and Shannon having way too much food and Heather being horrified. And she's like, you realize that we're going for one night? Oh God, everyone's on Ozempic. No one eats this much.
God, I love being relatable to America. So then we see Shane and Emily and Shane's like, now remember, no eating in the truck, because if you ruin that, how else will I be able to prove to everyone that I've got a big penis?
Yeah, no kidding.
No eating in my sorry about your tiny penis truck. Promise me that.
This is why I hate pickup trucks, okay? Because I feel like the majority of them are driven like by people like Shane who just live in the suburbs and have absolutely no need for a pickup truck and are just doing it to make themselves seem taller.
Yeah, you're like, but this is a Home Goods. Could you? So yeah, like we need it for work. You do not need it for work. You work in an office, sir. So Gina's like,
oh my God, I got construction workers in my house, so I need to get the kids to Travis's.
Look, say what you want about Gina. I really love how she's dealing with this relationship. She's clearly not into Travis. She has zero chemistry with Travis. She's probably still pining for, Matt, because Matt's hot. I mean, I know that whole thing went terribly, but Matt seems to like have kind of his stuff together for the moment, and he's still really hot. So there's that. But Gina is still keeping Travis around to babysit, and I have to tip my hat, because I think that's kind of, I don't know, enviable. Good for her.
Yeah, she's having the men do what she wants. So they get in the car, and of course they start eating Twizzlers. No eating in the pickup truck. Says who?
So that's what marriage is. Your husband tells you to do something, and you say, okay, honey, and then you do it anyway.
And then now we see the Big Bear babes. The Chiron says Big Bear babes. Tamara, Kate, Jen, and Alexis. Doesn't say Katie. There's a typo. And they're all heading out to Big Bear. And
I love that the Chiron people don't even know Katie's name. They're like, yeah, you just got here. And no one corrected it. And we always hear that Bravo takes these scenes and they go over episodes a million times before they ever release them. Like the notes on Bravo are insane. They just keep giving notes and notes.
Yeah.
You have to go back and refine it and refine it and refine it. So when you see something like that, it's like, oh yeah, they hate Katie. Katie will be here about another 5 minutes.
Yep. So then we see people are arriving at Tamara's house. So first Alexis arrives and parallel parks. She has all the room in the world. Like she doesn't even have to parallel park. She can just like glide into the spot without even going into reverse, but she still parallel parks terribly and almost causes a car accident. And then Jen comes in, and Jen also is a disaster with the parallel parking. She does exactly how you parallel parks exactly the way you expect, slowly and multiple times.
Her car has automatic parallel parking anyway. I don't know why she's acting like she has to parallel park herself. But it's funny watching them judge her, and they're like, how does she even have that car? She's poor. Sell your car, you poor idiot. And then they're like, oh, that's Ryan's old car. And then she's shaming her for that. Like, this woman can't win.
And then the La Quinta ladies, they are now I think they're gathering at Shannon's place. So now Emily is trying to parallel park her giant pickup truck. To the other two women, to Alexis and Jen's credit, they eventually do parallel park. Emily, she just doesn't even get close to the curb, and they don't even dwell. They don't even show it. But if you look, you can see she's like 2 feet away from the curb and just leaves her big ass pickup truck right there, which is another reason why I have issues with pickup trucks, because this happens a lot too. There are just certain trucks that reflect the attitudes of drivers: muscle cars, cyber wagons, and pickup trucks. I'm sorry. Pickup trucks are the least offensive because there are people that use pickup trucks for their true use, But for the people who don't use pickup trucks, because like for people who are not working construction sites and hauling big things, people who just are driving them to boost their image, to bolster their identity, they are terrible drivers and they're the worst. Just have to accept it.
Yeah. So Shannon has other things we have to accept, that Shannon just walks around with crock pots of chili. Like, who does that? I've just never. I've heard of like, let's cook, or like, let's have something on our vacation, but I've never heard of someone being like, you know what I'm bringing? My chili. Ew.
Well, it was chili I was going to bring to Big Bear. This is mountain food, but unfortunately I wasn't invited. So I'll bring it to the desert, because who else doesn't love chili in a desert?
Who doesn't want a nice, warm bowl of something extremely spicy in 110-degree weather?
When I think of Palm Springs, I think of chili. A big pot of chili.
And Heather's like, I'm bringing a baby grill because, we have to keep the house clean. Well, we're not grilling babies, for Christ's sake. What kind of monster? No, an actual grill that's a baby. Oh, I don't approve of that.
Heather, that's just actually a rutabaga you're holding.
This isn't a grill.
Have you ever seen a grill, Heather?
Of course I have. They're round. This is a grill.
It's a rutabaga. I'm pretty sure it's a rutabaga.
So then Gina's like,
I'm just hoping that Heather is going to grill hot dogs and not roast me.
You're fired. So then
please, like how her and Emily, I'm telling you, Emily's this episode too. What was hers earlier? Oh my god, so.
But I love Heather toting this mini Weber grill to be relatable. It's like, oh, look at me, I am so wacky. I found a poor person's fireplace, and now we're going to put it into the back of this pickup truck. So like,
all right, everyone, I'm really excited, and I apologize in advance because I'm a little nervous about it, because I put so much work into getting this house ready to take it to list, and like, I don't want us ruining everything. They are saying this is the greatest concentration of gather signs in the history of California. So don't fuck it up.
So am I supposed to believe, because Gina actually says at some point, I staged this house. You did not stage this house. Is anybody believing for 2 seconds that Gina staged this house? You can't even stage your own house.
You can't even stage your own hair. Okay. We've seen it.
You can't even stage your own crop top. So Gina's like, yeah, you know what? That was a lot of chili, and now it's a lot of shit, Shannon. So I'm a little concerned. And so Shannon is pulling out her little vacuum. She's like, I have a dust buster. This is so funny. This is so good. I'm back.
there are actually quite a number of allergens here, so I'm just gonna vacuum everyone's shoulders real quickly. There's some dandruff. It just gets into my nasal passages. You don't mind, Gina? Ow!
So the Big Bear chicks are packing their truck, and Kate, this one has the big American flag window in the back. You know, that's like, I'm more American than you.
Oh my
And-
God, this truck, if you are driving this pickup truck for whatever reason, whether you need it for work or not, if you're driving this pickup truck, you should just be mortified. Like I'm sorry. Like I understand, like despite my ranting, people need their pickup trucks. People want their pickup trucks. But if you're gonna get a pickup truck, then get one that's not this one. This is just the worst pickup truck of all time.
It's like the most offensive. It's like when people are like, well, I have the right to have a gun, but then they come in with a gun bigger than a 5-year-old with like 5 heads, and it's like a machine gun, and then it hooks up to a cannon that electrocutes you. It's like, okay, well, you don't need that. You know what I
this
mean?
blue pickup truck with like 10 different fenders. I'm surprised it didn't have like the 2 sets of wheels in the back. We have all seen this one come barreling down the highway. It's like fuck this pickup truck.
We've all seen this in our rear view mirror. Especially any Texan has seen this in our rear view mirror. And everyone who's like us in Texas has seen this right in our rear view mirror and thought, is this the day that I'm gay bashed to death? Because
this is a gay bashing pickup
this
truck.
is a gay bashing thing. And also, I don't so much has happened in this country. We like to not get too political all the time on the show, but the fact that the American flag has been taken to become this symbol of just like repression or like oppression in a way is just so sad. You know, it's not like I ever walked around with the American flag draped all over me anyway, but the fact that it's now like you see that coming on a big truck and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna get killed, or someone, some minority in some way is gonna get hurt. That's sad.
That's fucked up.
So fucking sad.
It's fucked up.
It is fucked up. But of course, that's what Tamara's driving. A fucking course. Even Tamara's fucking vehicle is oppressive.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if this was truly an Eddie purchase, like because this has Eddie written all over it, just like board oppression. So anyway, so the pickup truck, where are we? The pickup truck is terrible. Okay, so Big Bear babes packing up the car. Tamara's like, who needs men? Am I right? So Kate, they're getting in there into the truck, and Katie's like, wow, I've never been to Big Bear. I'm so excited. Where the golf course is. You never been? She's, no, I've been to Mammoth, the more high-end version of a mountain community.
I know. I love that slam.
Yeah. I've actually never been to Mammoth, but I do hear it is the fancier version.
I'm not fancy enough to go to Mammoth, but I like that. She's like,
you never been to Big Bear?
No, I've been to Mammoth.
So Tamara's like, Jen, we're going to get you on OnlyFans. She doesn't have any money right now. And Jen's like, yeah, well, a girl's got to do whatever girls got to do. What's OnlyFans?
So then Heather and Shannon are dancing around in the back seat of their car. And Heather's like, I'm usually sat next to Gina, but I'm okay with a little bit of separation today. I leaked pizza cheese on top of a very expensive purse with that woman. For her to treat me like this, unforgivable.
She goes, as a matter of fact, I wish they had that thing in the car that goes up the separator. Brrr. I mean, I thought that was standard in all vehicles, at least the ones that I drive in.
So then they go to Shannon's car goes to fast food at Jack in the Box, and they're like, what do you want? And Shannon's like, can I see the menu? Like, they don't have a menu, Shannon.
Well, I'm gonna get out and look. Look at me dust bustering the Jack in the Box menu. Hey, Jack in the Box, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear.
Just can you tell your manager, Shannon Bedore is back.
And by the way, if a big boob Jesus slut comes by and starts calling you Jackie J, just ignore her. Deny service.
So it's a wacky scene at the Jack in the Box, and Shannon goes,
Oh God, this is mushy.
she's having a taco. She goes,
It's supposed to be mushy. It's nothing like it in the world. I don't even know if it's meat, but I love it.
Yeah, she is like she becomes so entranced by the taco that she forgets about her happy Shannon persona. She's like,
She
oh,
really-
I'm wild and wacky. Top of the morning to you, Jack in the Box. This is so fun. I'm just gonna have this taco. It's just a few extra calories out of my daily amount, and it's so transfixing. It's soft. It's texture. It's mushy. It's not natural. There's chemicals and preservatives, things I shouldn't put into my body. I need to have all of it right now.
Yeah, it's like a world of sin. This is like her. What do they call it when the Amish kids go out? Oh, it's like her Rumspringa.
It's like, I don't even know if I'm ever going to go back.
Heather, Heather doesn't know anything about this place, of course, so she Googles it. And she's like, the most popular item at Jack in the Box is a taco.
Is this where Gina lives? The box? So,
I didn't know that was the most popular item at Jack in the Box.
know,
A
yeah.
taco?
I have not been to Jack in the Box since 1990 because I
Yeah.
went there on a family. We went on a family vacation to Arizona, and we didn't. There's no Jack in the Boxes in New York, and I hadn't ever heard of it. And I was like, oh my god, it's a fast food place, but you can get spring rolls. It was I don't know if they still have spring rolls, but at the time they had spring rolls, and that was literally that rocked my world. And so I love Jack in the Box. And then like a month later, they had some horrific E. coli situation, and I haven't been back.
Who hasn't? People deserve a break.
I think I'm ready to bring Jack in the Box back to my life. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll get Jack in the Box on the way to Palm Springs today.
Oh, that would be fun. Well, I don't eat meat these days, so I can't really eat there because I don't have very many vegetarian options, which is just insane. Just insane. It's
They
offensive.
do have a very lovely taco that just all it wants to do is love me, and I just want to love it back. For once, someone who sees me for me, the Jack in the Box taco.
Hey, guess what? I just read in a comment because I'm being professional reading Instagram comments.
What
during this
happened?
recap. Someone said, just heard a promo for Andy Cohen live during the Jeff Lewis show on Sirius. They used a clip of Ronnie and Ben's recent appearance. It was when they were impersonating Andy. Oh my God. We made
Really?
it into a promo clip of something.
Oh
That's
my
so
God.
exciting.
I want to thank the Academy, and I want to thank Jack in the Box. That's so cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put my phone down now. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so back to Big Bear Babes. Alexis is like,
I told Johnny I didn't know what I was looking for until I found you, because I didn't even know that you could exist. You're just so amazing. Johnny J. I mean, my God, what an amazing human being, you guys. Hey guys, you know those little trees that you hang around your mirror in a car that hide the smell of Bellino fart, like Jim Bellino fart? That's what Johnny J smelled. That's what his breath smells like. I was like, you were born to be my man. You are a prince.
30 minutes later.
Oh my God. Going on. A player's only a player until he meets the right person, guys. He was a player, but he met the right person. He's a good
45
Christian boy,
minutes
guys.
later.
Oh yeah, let me tell you what a good Christian he is. We went to 2 churches, and they were Christian churches. We went to one Christian church on Christmas Eve and another church on Christmas Eve because we both had different Christian churches.
45 minutes later.
Jesus was just a player, really, until he found the right person. I mean, really. I mean, look at all those people Jesus fucked.
She's going on and on and on. It's like, there are so many lies that have been spoken about John that are just not true, and they're going to be cleared up, and I'll bring it all. So bitch, better step back. She keeps laughing at everything she says, and also
she is so crazy and manic and stalking Shannon. She is a stalker. What is wrong with this lady? And Shannon, you see the look on Tamara's face. Well, everybody's like, this bimbo is insufferable, right?
And we
She's
can
a
see
moron.
we can see in the background, by the way, through the windows, we can see the terrain. And when you do drive up to Big Bear, there's very specific terrain you go through. And we can see, just based on the terrain, that Alexis has been talking nonstop for at least an hour about this topic. We see they're down by the 10, and then they're driving up the mountain.
It starts with ocean behind them, and then the air starts to thin. And then by the time they get there, there's snow out the window. It's just
yeah, Johnny J, we just go to church. We go to 2 different churches, and we just pray. We pray that other people can have a relationship like we do, because our relationship is so good, and you guys will all know the truth about it very soon.
Yeah, you guys are super Christian-y, coming up with ways to get on podcasts to slander somebody and sue them, and then take videos of them while they're drunk to use against them later. You guys are super, super Jesus-y. He's so lucky to have you, really.
Katie's like, I feel like I'm getting to know John a little bit more than I'm getting to know Alexis, which is reverse golf clap for that, I suppose. And Jen is like, it's like information overload, like Johnny J, Johnny J, Johnny J. Okay, it's a lot, and I'm married to someone who wears horrific shirts. I'm used to a lot, but this is a lot.
If I had $1 for every time she said Johnny J, I could pay my back rent.
I can afford this Rolex.
And Tamara's like,
Don't you get a headache from talking so much, bitch? I mean, with all the John Jay talk, I was tempted to push Lexus out of my car.
and it's so funny because this is what you rot. So have fun with this. This is your karma you're driving next to.
Yeah. So they all get to Tamara's place and they look around and everything. And Katie feels like Tamara gave her the best room because she's like, I'm new and I wanted to have my own space. Tamara's like, no, it's because Jen doesn't talk and Alexis doesn't shut the fuck up. So they would just balance each other out. Plus, there's no plus. That's it.
There's really no plus in this situation. We're a big bear. So she got them all bear costumes to wear.
By the way, she also says, when we bought this house, it had not been remodeled since the 80s, which is funny because I think you could say that probably about Tamara's wardrobe, but
But then we see the house, shots of the house. How is this any better than the 80s? It's so confusing. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I know that mountain life has its own style, but this is not that either. This is just bad style. It's ugly.
At first I liked it.
It's like poorly fonted word art everywhere.
Yes.
It's just hideous. It's bad fake Ashley furniture leather. Like, just by the way, I'm the owner of some of that, so everybody stop, just unclutch your fucking pearls. You know what I mean? And then the kitchen is just such a typical standard new kitchen. It's like fake marble, waterfall, modern farmhouse in the middle of this mountain house. It makes no sense. It's just so bad.
I actually liked the remodel at first, but then I started to notice that all the furniture was brown. And I was like, I'm going to have a problem with this. So, and then they're like, hey, Tamara, there's something going on over here. This is like a little scary. And there's like a full on puddle in the middle of the dining room because the house is leaking.
Yeah, they're like, something's leaking. She's looking down at her boobs like,
How many times do I have to fix this?
like, no, damn it. It's above us.
Oh, sorry, bitch. God damn it.
And they're like, Tamara, are you sure you did this all yourself? Wow, this whole house you did by yourself? Nothing screams, I did this by myself like this house. And then it immediately starts leaking on their head. Loved it.
So meanwhile, over in La Quinta, they arrive at this huge house, and there is Elizabeth Vargas and her Bentley. That's outside.
Gina, welcome to your house, Gina. It's your house now. It's not just my house. It's a house for the people, Gina. Welcome. I couldn't be happier to welcome you to my house. Unbelievable, undeniable, unthinkable. Gina.
It's got a kitchen and a dining room and a bathroom for two. It's got a living room and a den and something for you. Everyone has fun at Elizabeth Vargas' house, so come on in and sit on the couch. It's welcome to my house. It's unbelievable, undeniable, irrepressible, unexpressive.
Have so much fun throwing the kitchen sink and maybe you'd enjoy it all wearing pink. Am I right, ladies? Come have a good time. A good time at Vargas's. Somewhere the rainbow. How's this salmon? How is it? Is it good? My recipe.
'Cause we're all going to La Quinta, home of all the dreams. I want to be in La Quinta. I want to be in La Quinta.
OKLAHOMA, Oklahoma. Who goes there? Am I right? It's a $9 million house. Enjoy, ladies. Enjoy.
So, Gina, people who never listened to that season of our recaps are probably very confused right now.
What the hell? Elizabeth Vargas mentioned, like, part of her backstory was so nuts. I can't believe she didn't get another shot just because of her backstory being so crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's because she was kind of a pathological liar,
Yeah.
which is why they were like, well, if literally everything you say is a lie, we can't have you on the show, but because they had her and Noella, right? Weren't they on the same season?
No, Noella was the following season.
Okay. A lot of pathological liars on the show. Anyway, they had her, and first, one of her things was being in a cult, which was sad, but also so fascinating, being raised in a cult. and escaping it, like having to like run away and escape the cult. And then the other big thing was that she was working in a dinner theater and met her husband. He was like an audience. She was doing a cabaret or something.
Yeah.
And that's how she met her billionaire husband. And so we've just always loved, and she does talk like this.
She talks like she's in a musical.
Yeah, she
I
gets
think,
her
I
mouth
think she
kind of
did
shut.
say like unbelievable, undeniable at one point.
She did. She said undeniable, unbelievable,
undetectable.
Yeah, it was something like that.
know.
It was some 5-syllable thing that she was saying. Oh my God, so good. Anyway, she deserved another chance. And she's trying on this one. She's like, look, I'm even going to give Gina a $9 million home to sell. And they still won't let her on the show. She's like, hey guys, you want to have a wacky scene? They're like, please stand over there.
I know. They should let her stay for this
Come
girls'
on.
night.
Yeah,
you know?
why not?
So, surprise Elizabeth Vargas cameo on this week's episode. So, then Heather's like, oh, wow, I love this little servant's quarters you have. Now, where's the rest of the house? This is the rest of the house. It's an $8 million estate. Oh, this is it. Okay, well, that's cute. This is a cute little house.
This is the nicest closet I've ever seen outside of Orange County.
I love this bungalow. It's just so cute.
So they
Where's
go outside.
Drake? Is he next door also? No? Okay.
Sorry, is there a Chris Brown in this neighborhood? Maybe we can brag
How
about.
about Kendrick Lamar's?
So Gina's like, oh my God, you guys, look at this little lake thing. This is worth the price of admission right here.
And Elizabeth's like, oh, the koi is starving. Am I right, girls? Oh my God. It's so difficult having hungry koi, man, river.
Do we feed them ragu? And Shannon goes, oh, wait, koi. Is that a fish? Is that a fish? It's a fish. Do we put salmon in it?
And Emma's like, yeah, it's koi fish.
Shannon's like, how many koi fish do you have? I have an allergy to koi fish, and when they jump out of the water, their allergens can become airborne. So it's just very important for me that I keep a safe distance from these fish. Thank you very much.
They're called koi because it's an acronym. It's Killers of Intelligent Ladies. Never trust them. Coils used to be called.
I'm very concerned about the fish.
So now we go back up to the Big Bear Babes.
Well, I love it. I'm sorry, but I have to mention this because Elizabeth goes, well, there's supposed to be 500. You've got 500 koi? That's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a sold-out house.
Listen, when I come out here and sing Liza's Best, I want to make sure I've got a crowd. You know what I'm saying? They're good fish. Just starve them a little. They just start jumping out of the water. They hear any human coming. It sounds like applause.
Being alive.
See, look at that.
Here's to the koi who lunch.
Somebody hold me too close. Okay, well, that was a koi in my face. I really should feed these koi. Took the gum right out of my mouth.
Did someone put a koi in this chair? It was just a lyric. Someone drew shit in my chair.
Is that a koi in your pocket, or you just happy to see me? Well, it actually is. It is a koi in my pocket. Oh my God.
There's a koi. There's a koi fish. Oh God. Excuse me, everyone. There is a koi fish stuck in my dustbuster. I just need to go service this one moment.
High and koi, being a girl. All right, let's get on with this, ladies. So we go back to the Big Bear Babes. And Jen is
putting on moon boots.
They're putting on moon boots. And Jen's like,
I think my boots are 2 left feet, which, listen, they're free. So I'm not going to kick them off my feet, but still, like, they're supposed to be like this.
Jen was like, moon boots don't have a foot. They're both the same.
Kitty goes, yeah, they're just kind of universal, which is sort of a fun pun if you think about it.
Moon boots. They're the USB plug of shoes.
Yeah, the EU said that all moon boots just have to be the same, and so now we all have this. Unfortunately, every time I put on my moon boots, it says, this moon boot uses cookies. Do you accept?
Funny that they could do that, but Apple can charge everybody 30% for using products through their phone. I'm not really sure how that one's fair, but no one on this podcast is bitter about it, so let's just move on.
Jen, you are wearing your moon boot on your head. It's supposed to be for your foot. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
I was just trying to
you.
be more grounded.
Thank you. This moon boot is broken. It's not telling the time. So
Is that a Rolex moon boot? Now
okay,
they all
so they're going
go
inner
tubing.
tubing. Yeah. And Alexis is trying to be fun, hilarious. She's like, I'm so excited to go inner tubing because I'm fun, Lexi. We're gonna play in the snow. Like, let's go have some fun, right, ladies? I'm gonna go down every hill because light, laugh, and don't eat yellow snow.
And then Alexis just takes off on the tube down this very sad snowy slope. And then they're like almost mad at her that she did it. I feel like Tamara had like some opening gag she wanted to do. So Tamara's like, this one's a shit show. And Jen's like, yeah, she's like, do I really talk too much? And I'm like, well, maybe a bit. Which from Jen, that's like the equivalent of Jen being like, she's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, no kidding. And Tamara's like,
Yeah, just a tiny bit, just a little bit.
so now they all do it. It's so fun, guys. There's a lot of wooing, which is my favorite thing. Woo, 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 woo. This was one of those scenes where I could not tell anybody apart because they're just all white blonde ladies. Like really,
Except for
like,
Katie.
Right, but like most of the ladies, I was like, "Who is that? That was Alexis that won for." How is Alexis?
It's a lot of
how's
blonde hair
Alexis
flapping in
talking
the
about
breeze.
Alexis on top of the wind, on top of the mountain? I really had some confusion. They really need
You're like,
to change
wait,
it up.
how did she get to the top of the mountain so quickly? I thought she just went down the tube. Oh wait, that's Tamara. That's
Yeah.
Tamara. So now over in La Quinta, Gina is trying to light things, and Elizabeth's like, "Oh, do you want me to do that? I'm a little scared that you're gonna catch yourself on fire. Oh, what a feeling! Keep believing." That's from Donna the musical. Thank you very much.
Fires are hard, am I right, ladies? Hey, you guys actually packed pretty light today. How long are you staying? One day. Oh, maybe it's not that light after all.
So they're all lighting. They're trying to light the little grill. Heather's like, "Oh, you know me, Heather Dubrow. I can be a rugged person. I was on Malibu Country, so I did learn some country things. Like, for instance, did you know you're supposed to put charcoal in a grill? Look at me doing it right now, without a care in the world. I'm rich, but I'm relatable."
Thank you so much for letting us stay here. Honestly, Shannon needed to get a little getaway.
And Elizabeth goes, "Is she okay? She looks tired. She looks like she's going through a lot." What'd she say? I think she said she looks like she's going through a lot. Who says that?
Then it cuts to Shannon trying to put things away in the cupboard. Shannon's like having a breakdown in the kitchen. She's like dropping spoons and everything. Oh, I'm just gonna put a spoon into a jar with other spoons and nothing can go wrong. Oh my god, it fell on the ground. Oh god, where's the dustbuster when you need it? I've been exposed to koi.
Yeah, she says, "I'm glad she's here. She looks like she needs a break." Cut to Shannon.
Wow, I'm juggling spoons. I didn't even know I could juggle. Ah, got it in my eye. Okay. Should have knocked on wood before I said that one.
Well, don't let him burn down the house. I'm gonna exit stage left now. No, I won't. Don't worry about that. Memories in La Quinta at sunset. Don't spill things on my newly station.
Elizabeth, you got a flying tire in your house. I don't want to be blamed for that.
It's on purpose. It's on purpose.
Yeah. It's on fire. No, that's just dry ice. Just gives a smoke effect. going up to cat heaven now.
I'm a dead cat. Just go with it.
Could you bring some koi with you too? We need to thin out this pond.
No, but hold on. Watch this. Bread. Thank you, Koi. Thank you. We'll be here all week. Okay, so someone bought them pink shirts. I guess Gina. She got pink sweaters for everybody. It says "Girls Trip" because it's fucking Gina. So what else would they say? It's like the most basic word art shirt ever. Like the most descriptive. Girls Trip.
I want to get a shirt for a girls trip. This is girls trip.
So they put on these girls trip shirts, sweatshirts and stuff. And then now they're making drinks and everything. And Heather knocks over her shaker and spills everywhere. And Gina's like having a heart attack because they're trying to keep this place clean because it's staged. And Gina's like, oh my God, not the RHOC. And Emily's like, well, at least it's not Shane's truck. Ah.
Marriage, am I right?
So Heather's like, wait a second. Hold on. I've seen the workers do this. 1 second. Hand me the towel of paper. Thank you. Okay. And she's like, gets down, starts dabbing the stain.
Does anybody have a mattress? Get me a mattress. Too heavy, Heather. All right.
that grill-
a small child. Is there a small child we could wipe across the floor?
Is the grill warmed up? We have to burn this thing.
Bring in the charcoal.
We're going to rub charcoal.
Okay, so she cleans it, and then Heather's like, oh,
Everyone just calm down. Look at me, Cinderella on vacation.
and Gina's like, oh, she's just trying to get me back. This is Heather revenge. I'm like, no, Heather lives in her revenge.
Yes. Heather's revenge is looking at your outfit and saying, you know what? I don't have to do anything else. So then
Heather's revenge is the 20 she left under your pillow.
Hey, you left me $20. Didn't you lose a tooth that the tooth fairy is trying to help you out with, Gina?
So Heather, yeah, so by the way, Heather and Elizabeth Vargas together really would have a good Black Swan situation because they both were really into like, you know, making it big on Broadway someday, you know.
But who's the real one? That's the real question. Ain't nobody here
I have
but
more-
chickens. Ain't nobody here but us. Ow! Sorry, stabbed me, you. Who is it? Who
I
am
resemble Barbara
I?
Hershey more. I'm the real one. Barbara Hershey chooses me. I'm her favorite.
Barbara Hershey chooses me. Beaches. If I had my way, that show would have just called Beats. Barbara Hershey. What a stupid bitch.
That does remind me, everyone, I will be doing a one-woman show of beaches on the HGTV network. So please tune in. It's going to be a 3 hanky special.
Okay, so then Heather gets it cleaned up, and then Emily drops a drink all over the floor. And so all the ladies are cracking up.
It was pretty fun. I mean, I was laughing because this was not, I did not feel like this was a staged moment. They just kept on spilling stuff and Gina's losing her mind.
And so Gina's like,
Why did I think this was a good idea to bring these ladies to an open house?
it wasn't. You're just too
It was
broke to do
never a good
anything
idea.
else. Like, yeah, was there no like skee ball place open? You didn't have to do this to Elizabeth. How are you ever going to get listings on this show? First, you talk about how you don't do credit checks for friends.
Yes.
Then you blast someone's personal financial information all over national TV. And now you show what you do with houses that you're listing. You fucking party in them and spill shit all over them. You are terrible at this.
So now Emily's cleaning up her spill, which is this is a terrible spill. It's like on the cabinets and everything. And then Shannon picks up a cutting board and goes, is this mold? I think there's mold on this cutting board. This, by the way, let's call it out for what it is. This plastic IKEA cutting board. We're in an $8 million home, and the cutting boards are plastic IKEA cutting boards for 35 cents. And they're moldy too. I'd like to point that out.
It says $8 million mold, girls. By the time we leave, it's going to be like 3.5. I'm not going to have any commission left, okay?
So the Big Bear Babes, now the ladies are wearing cowboy hats and they're making drinks. And Alexis is late because she couldn't find her hairspray. And she comes downstairs. So Tamara's wearing like a top with like sheer sleeves, and Alexis is wearing a top with no sleeves. And Tamara's like, oh my God, you're going to freeze your ass off. I'm like, yeah, those sheer sleeves, they really make the difference.
Yeah, Alexis is like, I'm wearing a bikini top. It's what Jesus would do. So she's walking around. She's like, I need a consensus from the ladies. So, ladies. And she just keeps walking right past the ladies. And they're like, hello.
So hold on. Oh, guys, let me call Johnny J real quick. Let me call John. Okay, hold on. Okay. Hi, how are you? Oh my gosh, I've been waiting to hear your voice all day. How are you feeling? And he's like, kind of tired, which is standard.
Yeah, who wouldn't be addicted to that voice?
It's pretty on brand for how he was for the past 3 years.
The smooth,
Well,
silky sounds of Johnny J. Tired.
Alexis is sitting there. She's tossing her hair, laughing, being all coy. She's, well, it's gonna be miserable tonight, not sleeping without me there, huh?
And they're like, gross, because she's doing it. All the ladies are standing around waiting to go, and Alexa's sitting there, like being the center of attention. Like, look at me, I have a boyfriend named Johnny J. Oh my God, it's crazy. Do you want to have sex with me, right? Don't you wish we were having sex, Johnny J? Hey, if it was me and you, I would only be wearing these tiny little heels. And she swings up her legs to the phone. She's like, yeah, see, I would only be wearing heels, Johnny J. She starts laughing like that. It's so cringe. It is.
If I'm gonna have a conversation with my boyfriend, I will. Okay. Guess what? I love Jack in the Box now. I just suddenly decided I love Jack in the Box, specifically their soft tacos. So if anyone else were to like it, they're definitely copying me. Okay, Johnny J.
It's just so sad. It's just so cringy and sad. But you know what? It's like American Idol when they're still auditioning and they're purposely putting awful people in there for you to cringe at, because she's flailing around trying so hard to just get the show, and it's just she's failing. That's a no. That's a no for me, dog.
So Tamara gets on to FaceTime. She's like, hey, it's nice to see you, John. You look lean. You look ripped. And she's like, yeah, John looks happy. He looks like the weight's been lifted off his shoulders. About 150 pounds of it, bitch.
Oh, you were hilarious. But it's also so Tamara. This is such a Tamara compliment. She's like,
Hey, Johnny J, really love to see you. You know, I always liked you, Johnny J. You know who really likes you? Eddie. Eddie likes you.
who cares what fucking Eddie likes? Okay. Eddie also likes bologna straight out of the package and like fucking protein powder snorted up his nose. Like, who cares? Eddie's not a bastion of taste. He married you.
John Jansen and Eddie, that's what you call a crackling conversation. That's what you call banter that never ends. That's what you call high energy chatter.
So Alexis keeps this up for a while and everybody's really sick of it. And so then it's time to go back to the La Quinta ladies. So they're getting drunky and Gina's like, so what are we supposed to do with these hot dogs? And nobody knows how to cook a hot dog. And Heather's like, and then Gina goes, I mean, when they're done, they split naturally, right? Is that how they're done? And Heather goes, are you seriously asking me? It was your plot point when you said you liked hot dogs, remember? It's not a plot point.
I prefer them not to be split down the middle. I feel like they travel through the air a little bit faster when I'm throwing them at my servants.
It's the same reason you fold an paper airplane in the middle. They really just need to go with the wind.
It's physics, really, if you think about it.
She's like, well, she said she likes damn hot dogs. I mean, what do you want from me? So then Shannon goes outside with Emily. So she's like,
well, I just wanted to say that what are you laughing about, Ben?
Why the fuck did they stop the whole show to have Heather say, I thought she liked hot dogs. What do you want from me? Why would they stop the show to include that?
Because it's a typical Heather thing. She had that whole thing where she was like, I love hot dogs. I love hot dogs so much, you guys. They are just so, look at me eating this hot. Delicious. Like, Heather never eats a goddamn hot. It's like when Erica and Rinna on Beverly Hills were like,
yes.
Oh my God, hot dogs. I'm amazed with hot dogs. Or Paige DeSorbo on Summer House. All the like tiny little ladies would never eat a hot dog on this show always have an episode where they exclaim how much they love hot dogs. And it turns out Heather was lying that whole time. She just can't stay in character.
I just like Gina to be like, what do you want from me? So Shannon's like, oh, Emily, I'm so glad that we are sitting here and we are having a good time. One thing, me as Shannon Medore, what I hate is when a good time turns to crying and sadness. That's something I absolutely do not like. So listen, along those lines of keeping it happy and keeping it upbeat and not causing drama whatsoever and keeping smiles on our faces because there's nothing to cry about in life.
I saw Katie and Gina the other day after dinner, and we went shopping, and Katie and Gina were saying that they thought you were upset and angry, mainly because they think that you're an angry and awful person. Mainly, Gina was saying that Gina says you're a bad friend. Gina's wondering if maybe you're getting too close to Tamara. Maybe your friendship isn't real, and I don't know. This seems to be a lot of Gina's problems, if you ask
Oh
me.
God, I
It
would
really
never
sounds like
talk
you're a
about
witch.
anybody. Yeah, this is terrible. I would never talk about anybody. Gina hates you, wishes you were dead, and she wiped Twizzlers all over the truck, and then signed Emily below each stain. So I
And
hope that doesn't cause any problems.
yeah, I believe she said that you are so far up Tamara's ass that you're becoming more aggressive as you hang out with Tamara, and your face now smells like her poop. So it sounds like the smart toilet is you right now, because you are a lawyer.
Someone plug you in. All right.
Anyway, I'm so glad that we can have a fun time here, right? Ooh,
This is going to be fun. Wow.
So Emily's like, I feel so betrayed by Gina. I mean, first of all, calling me mean and aggressive. I've always been mean and aggressive. Hello, welcome to Earth.
Well, she said it. Can't be mad at her. Secondly, you've known me for 6 years. If we're supposed to be best friends, why are you telling everyone else? I'm pissed at her. Heather's pissed at her. She dug her own grave.
Oh, well, we should go finish dinner now. Surely they figured out how to make a hot dog by now. This is fun. God, I love us girls just having fun together.
My heart rate's about 8,000 right now.
Well, what are you taking? Do you have any to share? I would love that. Oh,
Are
God,
you
I'd
also
love a
having an
faster
allergic
heart rate.
reaction to the koi? Yes.
So Gina's like, they're all cleaning and cooking and cleaning. And Gina's like, oh my God, I can't believe like women just used to do this shit like every single day. I'm like, there are still probably a lot of people who do this shit every single day. I'm just so glad that we don't have to do that. Like this was like every day they would do this. And she looks at Emily and Emily's just staring daggers at her. Gina's like,
Yeah.
something wrong? Is something wrong? Is something wrong? Is something wrong? Is something wrong?
No.
Nothing's wrong.
No, nothing. And they just keep doing it. She's going to wait for her moment.
So Shannon's like, wow, I did not know there was going to be this level of emotion. I just hate it. I just hate talking behind people's back. If you have an issue, you should just bring it up. But let me tell you the truth. I mean, if dinner theater's going to leave the house, someone's got to entertain me. You can't turn on the TV during dinner, and I do not want the sounds of me smacking down a hot dog reverberating through television.
I just want Gina and Emily to be okay. They have an amazing friendship that fives of people enjoy out there in America, and we just wouldn't want to destroy that for people.
So Gina's trying to be excited about the hot dogs, but the energy is definitely killed now in this room, right? Like everyone feels it. Emily is a brat and she's sitting there crossing her arms, giving shitty face. And so she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She goes, I'm just hungry. I haven't eaten anything. That's fine. I can't even eat. It's your fault. It's not that I pay $1,000 for a medication. It's you, Gina. It's you. It's like, well, shit.
Gina, but
If being friends with Gina made you not hungry, I'd call her up.
by the way, I'm really concerned for what the kids are eating in Gina's house because she comes back from the grill with like 2 hot dogs. She goes, oh my God, we made hot dogs. She's acting like she just made beef bourguignon. Like these things are pre-cooked. All you have to do is heat them up and get a little char on them. They're literally the easiest thing. And she's acting like this is a marvel for her.
Yeah, don't you remember when she cooked spaghetti sauce? Like, I don't know why you have any hope.
Like if this is the reach, if making hot dogs is the reach for her, what is she making daily for her poor family?
Yeah. So then they sit down to eat, and we're in Big Bear now, so they're sitting down to eat at some Italian restaurant. And Katie's like, "Oh my God, I'm getting the Asian flesh because I had, I can't have anything with sugar. I'll get the Asian flesh." And they're like, "What's an Asian flesh?" And she's like, "You've never heard of it?" So she explains it to them.
Even Alexis has heard of this. How does Tamara is over 50 and has never even heard of this. This really speaks to Tamara and like just how like white her friend group is. How is she how has she never even heard about this concept ever before in her life?
Well, it's Real Housewives of Orange County. I was just like,
No,
oh my God.
clearly.
Yeah.
Why do Asian people have to flush differently than everybody else? You press a fucking button. Jesus.
It's shocking. So Katie's like, well, historically Asian people can't break down enzymes of alcohol in our liver, and I have to take Pepsid AC before I drink, and I think that really helps, really neutralize the alcohol. And Tamara's like, wow, like her mind is blown by this concept.
Enzymes. Someone Google that for me.
What's an enzyme?
Yeah.
So-
Then back with the other ladies are having hot dogs, and Gina's like,
Seriously? This is one of the best hot dogs I've ever had.
she's really impressed by these hot dogs, just by the fact that they were made, the fact how they taste. she's really going through something right now
it's
in a
just
positive way.
so awkward because Emily is just like refusing to talk to her. So she's like, did you lose some steam, Emily? And Emily's like, no, I've got steam. And Gina's like,
Play on words.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
steam heat. I got steam heat. I got steam heat. But I need your love to keep away the cold. I got. Get out of here, Elizabeth. Jesus Christ.
All right. Into the
Got
woods
my
we
tire.
go, we go, we go, we go. Into the woods we go. I'm the Broadway person here. So yeah, she
I laughed so hard I sucked some spit down.
Oh, I thought you were doing a Heather Dubrow reaction. By the way, you know what's also funny is that when Gina says these are seriously one of the best hot dogs I've ever had, Heather goes, "It's a good grill.
It's a grill. It's the grill.
It's a good grill."
It's the tiny
I
grill.
know. I'm very used to these sort of poor people toys. I can say with authority, this is a good grill. Standard Weber grill.
I mean, we could have used the original grill that I bought. Heather, that was gold braces off of one of your maids.
Well,
Flashback to 2 days ago, Heather walking into Nobu. Do you sell grills here? Nobu editions?
Okay, so then finally Emily breaks her silence. So we're all dying to hear Emily and Gina's latest attempt to get some screen time. So Emily's like, the night you had your dinner, I was aggressive towards Jen. But before that night, you said I'm mean, that I've changed, and you don't even recognize who I am. She's,
I never said that. I never said that, Shannon.
No, she did.
Okay,
She
not
did
exactly
not.
that.
She did not say that.
No,
Sorry,
come on.
I'm losing
No.
my voice. Losing my
No,
voice. Between the Jack in the Box and the koi fish, this is a very hostile environment to me.
so what did she say then?
Well, she said that you've changed.
And Heather's like, oh, she's not the one that's changed. Gina's the one who's changed. And she goes, oh my God, just you've changed. Oh my God, now I've changed. Yes, you've changed. So, of course, Emily tried it and she is being upstaged. And I have to say, by a slightly more interesting story. They're all grasping at this point, but I'm going with Heather's.
I loved Heather saying that Gina's changed, because this is what Gina does. She turns on people. That's changing. And you know what? Like, for a moment there, like there was that season where Heather was like, I just want to make things better. I want to know why you aren't calling me anymore. But now she's like, fuck it. It's nothing to do with me. You've changed. And so Emily's like, yeah, she was all about Katie. Katie was great. She wanted to bring Katie into this friend group. She loved Katie. And then you have a conversation with Heather, and then you're ready to throw Katie out the door. And they're like, yeah, I love that Heather is co-signing this. Heather's like, you turned against your friend who tried to tear me down so quickly that's actually really shitty of you.
No, that's Emily who said that.
No, but Heather agreed though. Heather, on the side, Heather was like, that's right. And I'm like, I thought that was so funny that Heather was like, even though it's like warped, Heather's like the victim of this, but she's like, yeah, you're shitty. Yes, she tried to bring up rumors about me, but you're the shitty one because you didn't have her back when she tried to ruin me.
Well, it's also selective rules, because then we see the clip that Emily is listening to Gina totally turn on Katie, and she's like fine with it and loving it until Emily's mad. And now she's like, and then you turn on poor Katie. So
Gina goes, well, I was disappointed in her. And Heather goes, how could you be disappointed with her? You knew what she was doing 6 months before she did it.
Yep. And Gina's like,
Yeah, but Heather, I promise you, I thought she was a genuine good girl. I feel bad.
so Heather's
to
like,
you thought she was genuine to you. You knew she
Yeah.
was plotting and planning this to bring this up against Heather for months.
Heather's like, let me take my hands and put them parallel on one side of the table. And when I make this point, I will lift them up rotate and put them down on a different part of the table. Okay? How could you be disappointed with her? You knew this was going on for 6 months, but I am your friend for years. You don't know this girl from Adam, and you meet her, and she gives you this bullshit information about me. Look, that affected my life.
Oh yes, I'm sure. I'm sure your life is destroyed now. And Gina's like,
Okay, but I'm looking at her a little bit differently, okay? Like before, I was looking at her as a girl who invented a golf ball shot who's going to have a lot of money. But now I look at her as a girl who's had a golf ball shot taken away from her and you still have more money. You understand? Does that make more sense?
It turns out the HD network actually has more upside than her golf ball shot. So I'm going to go back to your team. So
more things we'd never hear another thing about.
The HD network.
Yeah. So we cut back to dinner with the Big Bear Babes, and Tamara's like,
So I have to ask you, okay?
and Katie's like, okay, let's talk about it.
The paparazzi of it all? Like, because I'll admit, it sounded a little suspicious.
The golf event did not go how I wanted to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gina hung you out to dry. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
2 nights before I went to Gina's house, we were trying on golf clothes. I gave everyone right, and she was like, look, I don't agree with everything you think, but this is your truth. These are your feelings, and I feel like you need to talk to Heather, or I will.
But did you feel like Gina hyped you up in this situation? That's what you need to say. Those are the code words. You hyped me up. You made me do it. Come on. You've seen the show
Well,
before, right?
In the moment, no, just because I'm Katie and I'm incapable of being hyped up. But I look over at Gina defending her, and Heather goes, all of us agree this is not true, or whatever. And then I look over at Gina, and Gina just nods her head like, yeah, we all agree it's not true.
Yeah. And
And we
Tamara's
see
like,
it.
yeah, we see it happen. And Tamara's like,
Well, I question Gina's motives. She knows that Heather would not be happy about this, so what's she up to? What's she up to?
she was caught conspiring against Heather and sending this other girl after Heather, and then got caught. That's
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened.
Right. And Heather is basically like, you know what? Gina was so upset about the CPS thing at the reunion. You know, that Shannon made up a lie about CPS. She was so hurt about how it hurt her children. And now this paparazzi thing, this hurts my children. Okay. So
No, it
we
doesn't.
see-
Give me a fucking
well, because
break
it
with
was
that.
tied up in like the affair, right? Like that they were staging these photos because there were rumors that Terry was having an affair. I think that's what she was getting at.
She's
Like,
stretching
but by the
with
way,
this one.
agreed. It does not affect the kids. Don't care.
Oh, this is like, I mean, being on the Housewives, I would argue, is a bigger thing that affects your kids. Like, if you're going to do that, you're already affecting your kids. I think the paparazzi at Disneyland is okay. So she's like, well, it does trickle down to my family. It's trickle down paparazzics.
Paparonics.
Paparonics. My kids were calling me last year because their friends are asking them if we faked paparazzi. Max has anxiety. How is Max supposed to know? Like, the paparazzi really following Max, or did I ask them to follow Max? It's just so hurtful for my children.
My daughter, Max, is at Tufts University, about to become the next Chapel Rowan, who will also be my neighbor someday. And she has to deal with this. It's just unacceptable.
So Gina's like,
Shannon making up a rumor about CPS and my children is not comparable.
she didn't make up a rumor. She said that if you were taken away for drunk driving and there was no one, and you were taken to jail and there was no one to take care of your kid, that CPS would have come to get them. I don't think that was a rumor. I
It's
get
not
that
a
that's not a
rumor.
complimentary thing to say, and that Shannon sucks for doing it. But Gina's always overplaying it. Like, you've got such a limited hand as it is. You don't need to overplay it to this degree.
Right. And also, Gina is like one of the first people to be like, but my children. So let Heather play the children card too, because why not? So Gina goes, you know what? You don't
Children,
trust
listen,
me.
if I knew children were human shields, I would have had them a long time ago. The way that housewives use them. My God.
Careful the words you say. Children will listen from a faraway room because our house is so big. So Gina's like,
You don't trust me. That's what the issue is. Am I perfect? No. Am I wealthy? No. Did I do my hair nicely for my interviews this year? No. But am I allowed to make mistakes? Apparently, yes, because I make them every single year on this show. Okay? Apparently, but according to you, never. I'm never allowed to make a mistake. Ever.
Oh, yeah, Gina, after she fucks you over.
But no one's perfect. I'm sorry I'm not perfect.
I was just like, that's just bullshit.
But that's how I feel.
Oh, there she is again. She's using every trope that people who never take responsibility use. It's my children. That's one. The what? I'm not perfect. I'm not allowed to make mistakes. That's the other. And then the other is like, but I said it, but it's okay if it's wrong because it's how I feel. No.
And then Emily turns to Shannon and goes, well, I thought I was mad. I guess I thought this was going to be my argument and my scene, but that's fine. You know, my intention was not to have a meaningful conversation with my best friend and then get derailed by Heather Dubrow, but that's fine. She just wants to swoop in there and make it about her. You can have her. I was like, yeah, to be fair, Heather does it better though, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, yours was dumb and Heather's was funny. Okay. You know, if you want people to pay attention, you need to say it hurt your children. Okay. Are you new here? So Heather's like, there is a difference between making a mistake in judgment and a moment when there's just,
But that's what I did. I made a mistake in a moment. She goes, no, it went on forever, Gina. 6 months. She's like, but I made a mistake in judgment in one moment. Like it didn't went on for less than 24 hours.
No, I would like to say something. Katie said you didn't call her 10 minutes later. She said you called months later. She's like, no, that's bullshit. I called her like the next day. Like, well, actually, I'm sorry, the flashback, you see in one moment Gina says, I called her like 10 minutes later. One moment, in one flashback, she says she called the next day or whatever. But Gina's like, the stories are not adding up. So I think that's important, okay? Because you told me you called her 10 minutes later. Do I have to lift up my hands from one side of the table and move them a little bit over to the other side of the table once again to prove my point?
she does.
You said she does it. She's like a little forklift with her hands. She lifts them both up. You said 10 minutes, and it was not. She's like,
so what are they fighting about now? She's saying. Heather is saying you knew about this 6 months ago that she was going to do this, and Gina's saying no, I knew like 10 minutes before that she was going to do it. So
meaning that, like, well, either way, it's like Gina is saying, Heather is saying, you had all this time to tell me that there was someone talking this shit about me, and you didn't, and you only told her to not bring it up months later. Meaning, like, you entertained Katie. Like, you never shut it down with Katie right away. And so you let Katie sort of like go down this path for all this time. And then only suddenly had a reversal when you realized you were going to get in trouble.
Right. And we all know that that's a lie because we saw Gina telling her, you need to bring this up. You need to like totally bring this up with Heather. You need to talk about it. She wasn't saying like, that's insignificant and silly. You should never bring it up again.
Right.
Or go tell Heather, which is the only move to really make.
Yeah, well, she was like, you need to tell Heather, otherwise I'm going to. Meaning, like, if you don't tell her, I'm going to get in trouble. So I'm going to clear my name. Like, unless you want to be in super trouble, it was either way. It did not. None of it spoke to defending Heather as a friend. It spoke to saving her own ass.
Yeah. So then we cut back to the Big Bear ladies, and Jen's like, yeah, well, you know, I was there, and Gina very much felt like you put her in a very tough position, Katie. It was really rough. It was like really hard. She said that you didn't pay the rent. She didn't know about it, and that she was almost kicked out. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm in a different storyline. What were we talking about? Thank you for listening to me. It was fun having a line. And Alexis is like, wait a minute. How did she put her in a bad position? Talk about positions. I'm put in so many positions. Not one of them bad. Johnny J.
Trevor was like, wait a minute. Gina knew it would not be funny. You got set up. You got set up, gal. And Katie's like, you really believe that? You think she set me up? Katie goes, I can't actually figure out what Gina's motivation was for wanting me to talk about this, but Tamara's thoughts are pretty convincing.
So Heather's like, who's lying? You or Katie?
Well, I'm not lying. Have I ever lied to you before?
How do I know?
Getting even thicker and crazier. That means I cannot be lying. I called that girl up and I said, do not do this. And I don't care what Katie says. You're gonna believe that girl over me.
Heather goes, well, you believed her over me, and I feel betrayed by you. And I'm having a really hold on, Stella Adler, this one's for you. I'm having a really hard time with it.
Why are you hitting yourself in the eyes with a hot dog?
They're very high in sodium. It's a trick I learned from Reba.
Hold on, let me apply this relish to my cheeks. Do they look like tears?
Am I crying?
Well, you're squirting mustard all over your face.
It really hurts.
I feel stabbed in the fucking back.
Gina's like, I understand that you're hurt, and I get that you're not gonna get over it, and that's fine. But I need you to know that I'm really your friend, and I made a mistake, and I did something that perhaps I shouldn't have trusted. I trusted someone I shouldn't have trusted, and now I'm just like trying to sort that all out.
So Gina's saying, well, Katie has a different timeline because she's lying, which I mean, I know I'm confused on this, but no, she's not, because she said that she told you all this around Sutton's party, which was a long time ago.
Yeah, and Katie's like, why
So
would I just come into this group just lying? Why would I just start a lie, you know?
yeah.
So yeah, the big issue, I think the issue is also that like if Gina had called up Katie 10 minutes later and said, you know what, don't ever bring that up, it would have been a way of just like squashing it. It never would have been brought up. And I think Katie even says like, yeah, if it was 10 minutes, I don't know if she says it, but like the idea is that like this is just not something that Gina squashed right away, and she let it breathe and have air. And
So Katie's like, it wasn't 10 months. It was months. And Gina's like,
No, it wasn't a month. And by the way, I don't know because I'm not Alexis. I don't bring bank statements.
yeah, it's called receipts though. So maybe you should,
Yeah.
So then Big Bear Babes are at dinner, and so they're leaving, and Tamara's like,
Well, that was fun, guys. Now we're going to put Jen on OnlyFans because she's broke.
And we go back to
Broke, you guys.
the La Quinta ladies, and Heather goes, I'll tell you what, I'm going to believe you, Gina, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to try to move past this. And if you ever come for me and my family, oh, here she goes again. Okay, we've all seen this part before.
So then she's like, I don't need a big apology. I need a big house. Are we done here?
And I never want to hear the word paparazzi ever again, unless, of course, they're gathering at my front gates to take a picture of Drake's house, who I live next to.
So she's like, well, I guess Gina's like, well, I guess I'm just pissing everybody off today. And Shannon goes, well,
You're not upsetting me. Actually, I just ruined your friendship. That was kind of fun for me. So this was like emotional tiramisu. So thank you.
Speaking of which, I do have some emotional tears in me because I'm being sued. So, well. So then the Big Bear ladies are back, and then they do this whole thing where they pull out a pie, and Jen sticks her toes in it for OnlyFans. It's very similar to what we saw on Vanderpump Rules that one time. And then she sticks her foot into Tamara's mouth.
You're not only stealing a sad storyline from Vanderpump Rules. It was like the saddest story. It was the saddest year ever on Vanderpump Rules. Like nothing happened, and you guys are going to try and take the foot storyline from that. It's just so Tamara, and it's so sad. While they're sitting around in wacky costumes, this was fun. Bye. So she puts her foot full of pie in Tamara's mouth in a bear costume, and I think it sums up a lot.
Yeah. So Alexis joins in and she pretends like she's grossed out. And Tamara's like, don't be a prude. Don't be a prude. And Jen goes, yeah, you're banging 4 times over there. And Katie goes, yeah, your vag needs a break tonight. It's good that you're here. And Alexis is like, oh, me and Johnny J. Yeah, we do have sex all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, but I heard that Johnny J has a big wiener, gigantic.
And Alexis is like, do not bring up the S word. Which wiener is not an S word, by the way, just in case anybody's...
Swords. So then Jen is she's like, so Alexis, like, when do you stop the fight with Shannon? He goes, I don't know, like when she stops, honey. Okay, because this is like fun time Lexi, good time Lexi. Okay, she just wants to have good times. Okay, so like stop, keep my man's name out of your mouth, Shannon, and then I can have some fun times.
Right, but like you're on a hell path. I'm sorry, but you are. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening to me, though. That was great to say it.
She's like, oh yeah? Well, if she wasn't making lies about him, I wouldn't be on a hell path. Should I use it right in a sentence?
I get like really worked up about Johnny J because like the man is nothing but kind, generous, loving, and caring. And unfortunately, Shannon has ruined John's reputation throughout the entire community.
Oh,
it was Shannon's fault, I'm sure.
Yes. So she says that if the girls just gave Johnny J a chance, they would see him. And she's like, my mother passed away and John was the only one by my side. Oh, yeah, I'm sure she would be real proud at how you're acting, trying to drag a woman through the mud, sue her twice, and ruin her fucking life. little idiot.
He has not a bad bone in his body, just a big one.
Oh my God, I just brought up the S word.
So Jen's like, so do you think you're going to stop her? Well, do I need to pull out the videos? Because Johnny's ready to talk. Okay, Johnny's ready to talk.
Johnny's ready to talk.
To
I love that it's like
Johnny's ready to talk.
this national murder story, you know? Guys,
I know.
he's ready to talk.
So yeah, I will stop her. I will. 'Cause Johnny's going to talk. He's going to talk. And
So they're like, what does that mean? And she says, he's got videos. And they're like, what? Videos of what? She goes, a lot. It will ruin her life. And Tamara's like,
Okay, she won't get to the point, but they had videos of the night of the DUI of Shannon. They're hilarious. It's so good. It's so good. Can't wait.
Can Shannon's life be ruined at this point? I think it's like she's been at rock bottom for a solid like 7 or 8 years now. So I
but
think it's
watching
just
them just so joyous over this is just so gross. It's just too much. It's too gross. They push it too far,
they're-
you know?
it's really backfiring for them. And so Alexis is
Tamara's
like,
making a whole tour of trying to make everything sound like,
Well, I didn't mean it that way. It's just because I love dear old Shannon.
like nice try, but it's every week this crap.
yeah,
Really.
Tamara kind of backfired. She's usually really good at choosing which person to turn on, but she's really kind of missed the mark this season. So Alexis is like, these videos are definitely horrific. And like once I saw them, like I couldn't go back to feeling the same way about her. She has now pushed us to the point where if she doesn't stop lying, you're gonna expose it. Yeah, we're gonna expose it.
And Jen's like,
Wow. I mean, where's she even going? Like, what do these videos matter? Why does anyone need to see them? Does anyone take account what this is going to do to Shannon, her family? I mean, in my opinion, this is wrong. That's just it. And my opinion is worth at least 2 cents. Oh my God. Can somebody multiply by that by like
How many things do I
100,000?
have to give to pay rent? Alexis is like, it's 10 times worse than you can even imagine. 10 times worse.
and I've said prayers for her because I'm very, very Christian. So I hope you guys are getting that from all of this. Can't wait to ruin that bitch's life. Disgusting. You're disgusting. Glad you're
Such a
having
good
fun
episode.
with your final nail in the coffin season on TV because you will never work again. Not because you're a vile person, but because you're just so boring at it. You're vile and you're boring. Goodbye.
I don't
You
know.
are
I think she's
dismissed.
pretty funny. I think
She
she's like
sucks.
hilariously awful. Like she sucks, but she's like
She
hilariously
hasn't made
awful
me
to
laugh
me.
one time. I don't think she's done one single thing that's been funny. She's just cringe and sad.
No, well, she hasn't done anything like intentionally, but I'm just like laughing at her because she's just so ridiculous. But I think she's good as I think her capacity as a friend of like that's as much Alexis as I need. So anyway, we've been talking for 2 hours. We don't need to start
That's
talking
crazy.
about Alexis Bellino, but this was a hilarious episode. I loved it so much. Thank you everyone for listening. Thanks everyone for being here. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And we'll be back next week with some Love Island reunion, as well as our normal slate of stuff and maybe some other stuff. Who knows? Catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.